So, I want to share with you the scientific reasoning and explanation how to tap into your intuition and to know what your inner truth is really easily. Because you already do it. I know you do. Now, science and spirituality, they may seem like polarizing topics, but they really aren't, and they're not mutually exclusive. And I have to say that my life is quite an example of this in terms of the building blocks of who I am, because I was born with a very scientific thinking mind in terms of like I needed to scientifically break down everything. I love understanding how everything and anything works down to the very building blocks of what they are, to the molecular level, to the quantum level. That shit excites me, right? Total nerd. But I was also born into a very strong Christian family. And I know Christianity is religious, and religion and spirituality are hardly the same thing. But in terms of my own spiritual path, which was very apparent since I was quite young, I suppose was very nurtured, and yet I had a scientific mind. And so navigating those two polarizing topics or those polarizing outlooks was challenging when I was younger, but it has brought me to a really beautiful conclusion of knowing that they aren't mutually exclusive. Because in order to understand and take something on, that part of my mind needs to be satisfied. Um, Now, what is the truth exactly, right? The truth is so relative to everyone's experience. And, when you step into the world of parallel realities or uh, different timelines, then there's a multiple different types of truths that could be true. And truth has 144 sides, and it does not mean that one person's truth means another person's truth isn't true, right? It doesn't mean that one is wrong. They could both actually still be true. As a really adamant truth seeker myself, when this first really got broken down for me of understanding what the truth is was when I realized that, Christianity was essentially quite far from the truth. And to be honest, I was really quite old when that happened. I was like 19 or 20, which is, might be seemingly naive. And I think there was a chosen ignorance there because I wanted to belong to my family, because they truly are the best people in the world that I know. Nobody acts with more integrity than they do, and nobody lives with more integrity than they do. So, of course, I wanted to belong to that. But regardless, I could not take on that as my truth because it didn't feel right in me. And so when that came crashing down, my truth came crashing down. It was really quite traumatic, and it was quite a lonely path because there weren't really many friends that understood what that was like. The second time that happened was when my other paradigm collapsed, because I always wanted to become a doctor. I wanted to become a heart surgeon, like all good little Chinese girls do. And then I realized what a lie and how deceptive the medical system and the big pharmaceutical system is, that do not have our best interests at heart, and they are utilizing a science that has been fabricated on so many levels that so many doctors and what you learn at university can't even decipher the difference because it is so ingrained into the makeup of how we understand human biology. It's insane. Like, it's actually insane. This kind of all came to an apex point when, especially with all this virus stuff happened, and I really realized that the truth is such an individual thing because, people are going to believe what they want to believe, especially with all this virus stuff going on. And I came to what my conclusion of the truth was, or any kind of medical treatment that we might be talking about with my family. I would have thought, I'd have a pretty valid opinion, considering I was trained as a biomedical scientist. I went to uni for 4 years and I got a degree in human genetics and molecular pathology. Molecular pathology being the study of diseases on a molecular level. So if I come to a conclusion about something, I've done this breakdown of research and like broken it down and dissected it and come to my conclusion from my experience and my training and using logical sense, but my explanation would fall on deaf ears because people are going to believe what they want to believe. If they have designated something outside of them to be the truth bringers, like the government or science, it's a very dangerous place to be because we know that there's so much bullshit out there. How do you even know what to believe if you can't believe science and you can't believe medicine and you can't believe the government and that there's so many opinionated different truths? What the hell are we supposed to believe, right? Well, that's when you have to come back to yourself and check in with yourself. What is your inner truth? What is it that your soul is actually aligning with? Now, to my point, the scientific reasoning. Now tap into that intuition to know your truth. Well, it's called following your tingles. Damn straight. Following your damn tingles. So, what the hell do I mean by that? When you hear somebody speaking their truth, right? You maybe consciously or subconsciously go through a few different processes of what you might perceive of that, to take that on as your own truth or to not. Some people might just, be like, cool, that person's intelligent. Yep, I'm going to take that on as myself so that I can regurgitate that next time that I'm posed with that question. Or you might actually feel, okay, logically, all these little parts of information I've got, actually that ties it in really well and it resonates with my database of information in my mind. Or the last one, which is my favorite, is that you know that it is truth because you feel that vibration is aligning within yourself and you check in to how you're feeling and you're tapping into your intuition. Now, when I say follow your tingles, you know what it's like when you hear something that's speaking truth. And it might be the most bizarre thing, the most bizarre damn thing you've ever heard. But it's the truest thing that you've ever heard, and you feel that in your body, and you get a wave of goosebumps, and you get a wave of tingles, and you're like, woo, damn, that's truth you're speaking. Well, why do we count that as the truth? Because the reason why we get goosebumps or truth bumps or truth tingles, whatever you want to call it, is because of resonance. Now, what the hell is resonance, right? People use that term a lot. Does that resonate with you? What does it actually mean? Resonance is when you have a piano on one side of the room and you have a guitar on another side of the room, and you play the E key on the piano, the E string on the guitar on the other side of the room will start to vibrate without you touching them in between, without anything seemingly connecting them other than the ether and the molecules in the air and the sound waves, obviously, but nothing physical that we can see, right? Because they're in resonance with each other. And when they're in resonance with each other, one will make the other vibrate. When we are in resonance with our higher selves, or we are resonating with the truth of our greater soul or oversoul, it means we are vibrating at the same vibration of truth as a greater part of our soul. So next time when you see something and you're not sure whether it's true or not, If something is really true, you will feel that vibration through you and know that you are getting the goosebumps because you are resonating with your highest truth. And at the end of the day, the only truth that matters is yours. If somebody else doesn't like get the tingles when you do, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, all that matters is that you are resonating with the highest version of yourself. And that's all that fucking matters. So, when you're navigating through this confusing world where there is so many different truths out there, so much information and misinformation, that both sides can have a very compelling argument, the best way to do it is to follow your tingles. Okay? Follow your damn tingles. Because that's all we got. That's all I got for you. I hope that helps.